Hey everyone, it is March 29th, 2020, times about 14:15 CDT, which is about 19:15 UTC, I think. Is that plus 5 hours? Yeah. And it's about 57 degrees Fahrenheit in here, which is like 12 degrees centigrade. And I'm just going to go over some stuff real quick. I have been doing some lab testing today. These are rock samples given to me by someone in Ontario. Almost 2 years ago now. And I'm finally getting around to doing them. I'm going to talk about these a little bit. I've done tests on these 5 only, although this one's kind of like wetting my whistle a little. But anyway, see, I've done some testing already. I need to transfer it to my lab book. I left it inside. But anyway, just real quick, I have not officially identified any of these yet, except for this one. I know what this one is. This one these I don't know where they're from, but this is just a siltstone with hematite in it. That's what the gray sparkly is. It's just hematite, and this thing streaks itself a red brown. So even the siltstone itself has a lot of iron disseminated throughout it, and there you can see my hardness tests. This one is probably chalcopyrite. I was hoping it wasn't, but the white blobs you're going to see on most of these, that is quartz on all that stuff. This I don't know. It probably is hematite or something like that. This one's interesting because this is the Pater mine in Sparge, Ontario, and I know this used to be a copper mine, but I've never seen samples like this before. You see these black granular size things, and some are medium sand size. But the thing with this is, this stuff is really hard, and it was a copper mine. Copper is soft, but my scratch tests on that have the two parts between a 7.5 and a 7 3/4. So this stuff is hard. So I don't know. There's more I got to do before I can firmly say what that is. This is a bismuth ore labeled as. I think bismuth is possible in here, but it also is likely a large part contains chalcopyrite. Bismuth ores will do that blue, see that blue tarnishing there, and you get oxidation, and you can get colors like this, but chalcopyrite also does this. Not usually that blue though. I mean that purplish red you see doesn't usually, chalcopyrite doesn't usually do this purplish red. It'll do the blue. But it's not as hard as like the main ore of bismuth is, which I believe is bismite. It's just not that hard. So, but there could be some in here. It's harder than chalcopyrite, but not as hard as bismuth ores. So there could be a mixture there. I just don't know. And then I'll get to those later, and I have a whole bunch of these, but I will interrupt it with this, and I'll probably talk about this more. This is from Tennessee, and this was given to me by, well, actually I won it in a silent auction. It wasn't given to me, but anyway, it's from Tennessee. It was labeled as a dolomite, but I threw acid on the white parts here, the grayish white, and they barely fizz. So the carbonate content in there can't be that high. It's quite possible to be a quartzite, but I'm more interested in this brown stuff, and I think I know what it is. And if it is, it's awesome, and it's not very common. Now, you might sit there and say, Steve, there's no quartzites in Tennessee. Well, if this formed the way I think it did through contact metamorphism in maybe like a hydrothermal environment, it's quite possible that any sandstone could have been metamorphosed into a quartzite locally. Because, I mean, obviously, we have this here, and this purple. I don't know yet, but that might be fluorite. So I might have some fluorite too. But like I said, almost nothing. I mean, this barely fizzes. This doesn't fizz at all. That doesn't fizz at all. So that probably is fluorite. But anyway, just want to say, if you hear a lot of wind, I mean, we hear gusts of wind of up to like, 60 miles an hour at times, although a lot less than that. That's about 100 kilometers an hour. And so I decided to drink my last apple bubbly. It's like, hello, 1995 called from a payphone in the mall. It wants its flavor back. But anyway, I'm sorry. That's one thing I never got out of in the 90s was my taste for apple flavored stuff because it was real big in the 90s. But anyway, I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And I'm working out of here now because we're working from home, so I'm not going to be producing a lot of videos while we're all in this social distancing, self-quarantining thing. But anyway, that's it. Have a good day.